Well, good morning from sunny Cozumel.
Good morning, Lake City Adventures.
It's day 2 of our 7-night cruise, and we just docked in Cozumel about 10 minutes ago.
And we're going on an excursion.
This is called the National Geographic Miss Martha's Bee Farm Tour.
We're going to a bee farm.
This is the National Geographic Tour, and we're going to experience Señora Martha's Conservation Bee Farm, led by a dedicated Mayan entrepreneur in Cozumel. So this starts with a 30-minute bus ride through Cozumel's eye-catching downtown area, and we're going to arrive to Marta's rustic farm, stopping at the Vanilla and Seed Oasis. We'll discover how bees pollinate. We'll discover interesting facts about these winged insects and their importance to society. We're going to have a honey tasting session. And then we're going to take a hands-on experience at the Casa de la Abeja as we come face-to-face with traditional beekeeping methods, emphasizing habitat conservation and sustainable practices. And then, as if honey isn't enough, we're going to indulge in a hands-on chocolate workshop, learning the chocolate making process from bean to bar using Mayan methods. And then we're going to make honey-infused chocolate and come back to the ship. But first, before we go on our excursion, we are headed to the Concierge Lounge for a little coffee and hot breakfast.
They have these illy coffee machines.
Illy beans, at least? Yeah.
Illy beans, yeah. You push the button and you get the most amazing cappuccino ever.
It's so good. It's all self-serve. It's just latte, cappuccino, espresso, whatever you want.
Yay!
Let's do it. These lights in the hallway are so cool. The way these are Lion King characters, but then they're casting a shadow on the side of the ceiling. Look at this Lion King mask that's all made out of very thin paper as we enter the Concierge Lounge. This is deck 13 where that sun deck is. I dig the Star Wars theming with the glass that go into hyperspace.
Really?
And then this is the stairs, the indoor stairs that go down to deck 12 and the main Concierge Lounge. And of course, lightsabers.
These espresso machines are definitely one of the key benefits of having this Concierge Lounge access. Touch of a button, you have an espresso, an Americano, a latte, a mocha, whatever you want. Here are some of the fresh plates that are available throughout the day in the lounge. Charcuterie plates, smoked salmon, fresh fruit, a variety of smoothies and mueslis and parfaits. In addition to those pre-prepared plates in the display case, there's also a hot menu in the Concierge Lounge. 3 different menus throughout the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so here we enjoyed an avocado toast, a breakfast sandwich with Gruyere and ham. That was the espresso that Buffy made earlier. This is steel-cut oatmeal. And of course, the classic Mickey waffle with whipped cream and strawberry sauce. The Concierge Lounge on the Disney Treasure does have a Star Wars theme, as I mentioned before. Here's some of the Star Wars artwork on the walls, and you can see how the carpeting in the lounge also has this fairly subtle Star Wars theme.
Breakfast thoughts?
Great breakfast. I had avocado toast and steel-cut oats. Both were amazing.
Yeah, breakfast sandwich, Mickey waffle with like cinnamon and sugar. There's a big difference between the Mickey waffle that's freshly baked for you than the one that sits in the tray at the buffet forever. Mm-hmm. Very good.
We're spoiled.
It's
absolutely
9:10.
Spoiled.
It's bee, honey, chocolate farm time.
Yay, let's go do it.
We have to go meet down in Worlds of Marvel, so we're gonna head that way. Just wanted to show you guys this scene as you walk into Worlds of Marvel. The relief out here is awesome. Black Panther and his claws, this kind of 3-dimensional hexagon wall.
When you book an excursion through Disney Cruise Line, you'll meet somewhere on board where you're sorted into groups, given a sticker, and then led off the ship as a group to the meeting point outside.
We've made it to deck 1 and we are out of here.
So on a Disney excursion, when you meet on board, you'll be given a sticker, say for Elsa or Jasmine. If you see the signs we just walked by there, you'll then meet that crew member outside the ship holding the sign that matches your sticker, and then you're very calmly and easily guided to your next destination so your excursion can begin.
Yeah. And then we can
Look how beautiful she is.
and then we're going to show them.
The gauntlet of merchants. I feel like every port has this dynamic.
Our tour guides guided us to our bus, which really was more of a large van, but it was safe, seatbelts, comfortable, good air conditioning, overall a great ride, about a 30-minute drive to the farm. We have arrived to Señor Martha's Bee Conservation Farm, which really is tucked into a natural kind of jungle area within Cozumel.
She's Mrs. Martha. She's the owner of the farm, and also she's always very happy to receive everybody here.
Yeah, it smells fantastic.
Also, we're going to learn how to detect real vanilla from the fake vanilla. We're gonna do that. Then we're gonna move on to the chocolate station, in which you're going to have a little bit of information about it, but also you're going to learn how to do your own chocolate as the way it was done in the pre-Hispanic style. All right, so we're gonna do it from the scratches. Then we're going to move to the bee station, in which we're going to learn the difference between the Melipona bee, that is the stingless bee, the one that we take care of in this sanctuary, but also the apis bees, the main bee that we know, the one that it stings, but it's so cute and fluffy. That one. Then after that, we're going to move to meet and have some sharing time with the Meliponas. So if you are also willing to, then the Meliponas can walk on your hand and you can meet them directly.
I'm so excited.
Really? Then we're going to visit the salsa station, in which you're going to taste, yes, real Mexican salsa. They are not the tourist version of the salsa. It's the real one that I saved myself for breakfast. But if you're going to be guided by a professional, so you're going to enjoy it, not suffer it, okay? And at the end, then we're going to have a surprise. I thought it was a surprise, but you already know that we have tamales. So my God. Okay, so first, we need to understand one very important thing about this park. Be friendly, and this destination that you're visiting right now was never meant to be a touristic destination. It is the second consequence of the activity of being saving bees in the Cozumel Island. As you know, Cozumel has had a trajectory being a touristic destination for the previous years. However, on the past 10 years, there has been a lot of working for change the mindset of the tourism and ecology. So we have been working along together very strong to keep them both together and make them work in the best way. One of those changes has been, instead of being calling the pesticides and the exterminators, call the rescuers every time that we have sites of bees in the hotels or any other touristic area. And it has been very successful. Still, we need work to do. Firefighters, they work along with us very close, so they do not destroy the bees, so that we can save them. During that time, we have gathered about 35 hives, but they have about 5 levels each. What I mean with levels. So the rescue boxes that we have, they are made of cedar, but every time that we rescue the bees, then if the colony grows, if the hive grows, then we have another one. So the 35 hives that we have, they have about 5 levels. So they are strong, they are big, and this summer we just received a donation for more boxes. Then most of them will be splitted. So quite probably after this summer we're going to have the double of hives. We are trying to protect you from the bees. However, we are chasing them, so I hope we are going to find them. It's be really hard to grow. Why? Because they need very specific conditions for doing it. As a matter of fact, the other country that also has the capability to grow vanilla is going to be Madagascar. So vanilla first needs a lot of humidity in the environment, needs tropical conditions, and also needs to have a calm and very peaceful area. Why? Because it is not strong. The way that the vanilla is going to grow is like a vine. So they're not going to have a bench or trunk that is going to grow with them. They're going to take advantage of the system of trees all around. So if we want to have vanilla beans, we need to take care and love our vanilla for about 1 year and some months. So this one that I have here, if we make things right with you and you're happy, we're going to have flowers this year. Aww. But that is not going to happen with this one and this one because they are still babies. Second challenge, flowers are only going to last 24 hours. So if nobody pollinizes the flower, it's like, sorry, bye. I'm dying. That's going to be the situation with the flower. Third, and it's not enough with those 2 challenges, we're going to add another one. The only insect that is going to have the physical capacities for do the pollination is going to be an Eleucine bee that lives alone. They do not live in any hives. It's going to look like a fly, not like a bee, and I'm going to show you pictures. and third is going to be stingless. So that is the only fellow that is going to help you. You're welcome.
Wow.
First question that we may have. If it is so hard to get vanilla in nature, how is it possible that we can have the vanilla as a production or industrialization? Well, the reality is that this pollination done in the nature is so hard that we need to do it artificially. So on most of the systems of the vanilla production that we have in Mexico, this pollination is doing hand by hand. And also by applying new technologies and artificial intelligence, some other countries that we never thought that they could be invested on this marketing, they are doing it, like Dubai, for example. Second question, if the vanilla, it is so expensive and so hard to get with the even human intervention, how is it even possible that we can have a bottle of a quarter of $1 in the supermarket? Here's where we talk about the magic of production industry. So it just happens that between the 19th and the early 2000s, that fake flavor was taken from a gland in the anus of the beavers. So still for some fake raspberry flavors, it is still being used. And also for some perfume industry, they're still using that technique. But for the vanilla, now they are taking some other chemicals and spices to get the imitation of the flavor. You're going to smell real vanilla. And then, what I'm going to give you is this word spoon. You're familiarized with that? Important for me to tell you, the best excipient that we use to enhance or preserve the smell or flavor of natural extracts is going to be alcohol. As the same way that we do for perfumes. So once we do the testing, first we're going to feel the kick of the alcohol on the tasting, but after that, then we're going to feel the perfume and the flavor of the vanilla, okay? Thank you. So most of the people have told me, I thought that it was going to be sweet. But well, the main answer is that most of the vanilla that we have received on the market and during our life has been mixed with sugar. And since over time, the receptors of flavors that we have are mostly for the sweet flavors. The reality is that vanilla, it's a very bitter kind of sour flavor, all right? But now, thanks to La Anita, since 1913, we are going to taste the fake vanilla. And I'm very grateful with them because I was looking for a fake extract of vanilla. But it happens that the marketers are very tricky. So they never are very clear if it is fake or not. But they were the only ones who were honest and transparent enough to say, yes, it's fake, so what? Are you going to buy it? But what happened when we're receiving fake flavored vanilla during our life in the ice cream or
Not
the
as
cakes
good.
and
Doesn't have the
everything,
bite.
it's really hard to know
Not as
when
good.
you're getting the chocolate was considered sacred, and it was a right only for the people related with the religious life in Mexico, or also for the nobles, to have access to chocolate. However, chocolate was open to all the people only during parties. So during the parties, it was the priests and it was the nobles who prepared the chocolate, and then it was shared with everybody else. But it was only in those moments. So when the Spaniards came and they found the chocolate, they said, this is delicious, we need to take it to Europe. But on the same period of time, between the 500 and the 1600, Portugal was also invading Brazil for half the production of the sugarcane. So when you're mixing the chocolate, sugarcane, and then you have there on Europe the butter and milk of the biggest agronomist activity that they had, is then when the chocolate that we know nowadays was born. First, we need a suitable seed of cocoa. And one question, have you ever seen a cocoa seed ever? Well, let me tell you that they are big. So this is a cocoa seed, and plus of that, it's hard as a coconut. And even so, if we produce a lot of tons of chocolate a year, we are not even the top 10 of the chocolate producers in the world. So we are the number 12, with the 0.5% of the exportation of chocolate in the world. Believe it or not, the 1, 2, 3, it's Africa. Now we're going to take all the seeds, we're going to separate it, and then we're going to ferment it for about 3 days. In the most modern systems, they use fermentation bags, in which they put the seeds, they close it, they take out the air, so it is completely empty on the inside. Then they put it in warm water, and then they are measuring the temperature inside of the bag, so they know which is the process of fermentation. So those 3 days can be reduced about 5 or 6 hours. And after that, it's going to be dehydrated under the sun for about another 3 days. And after it's been dehydrated, then it's going to be toasted. There's something very curious on this process because coffee is the same. And once it is toasted, then looks like this. Nice, right? Now, one question. Have you ever tried that Hershey's chocolate that says cocoa to the 70%?
Yeah.
So, well, today, you're going to try the 100%. Well, let me tell you something. 100 means the 100. So we're not going to have any sugar. So let me tell you something about chocolate. It's bitter, all right? So the sensation of the flavor that we're going to have is going to be pleasant. Of course, chocolate is a very delicious flavor, but it's also going to be strong and bitter. And we're going to have a little bit touches of caffeine in it because, yes, cocoa in the natural way contains caffeine, all right?
Thank you. You do it one at a time. I'm gonna throw them all in at once.
Go ahead.
All right, have you already tried it? Impressions?
Delicious.
Nice.
Very light.
I have a lot of feedback on this section, you know. There's people just like, no, what have you done? My picture of chocolate, you destroy it.
And it's soft.
So what we're going to do is that we need to clean up our seeds first. All right? We're going to gently smash the sheet a little bit. You just want to open the shell. I'm proud of it. I've been receiving a lot of kudos now during my chocolate. My mom will be proud of me. And first, like a motorcycle, we're going to do this with our wrist, then we push, then we do this with our wrist, and we pull. All right, everybody, wrist, push, wrist, pull. Nice. Warnings, do not switch your hands because then you're going to crush your fingers and that's going to be painful, all right? And then we're going to add the fun part of it because as we already know, chocolate by itself is very bitter. So what does the pre-Hispanic used to do time before? They used to use melipona honey. However, meliponas, they are only able to produce 1 liter of honey in a whole year. Wow. And also their honey is very sour. So the Spaniards said, you know what, I don't like it. So they brought the European bee for the beekeeping here in Mexico. And that's the main honey that now we have. So for this tasting, we're going to use Apis bee's honey. On the moment when we're going to be pouring the honey, you will let me know when to stop, all right? No, vida vieja. Oh, that one is good. Believe me, there was a lot of this. So come from my Instagram, I upload adventures of my everyday and here on the park. And I have a lot of videos sharing time with my bees when they come visit the chocolates.
That's
Emily,
tasty.
so what do you think about I know, me too. So once we get our chocolate ready, then we're going to start to crush, okay? And one warning, everybody is going to try everybody's chocolate.
Cutting crumbs in there.
Ooh, nice technique. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Very light.
I don't think anybody wants this.
A little more, Annalena. A little bit more? Yeah. Coming back.
Sorry.
I'm coming. Okay, raise your hand. The ones who's ready. The teams that are ready to share the chocolate to the other team. Who's ready? I have a little bit of information between the melipona bee, that is the one that we protect in this park, and the Apis bees, the bees that we know every day. Now, as I mentioned previously on the chocolate station, the Apis bees was not original from Mexico. So our bees were the meliponas. And they were divided in 5 different species, or the ones that we have found. So maybe there are some more. Currently, we know these ones. These two, they're very shy. So pretty much I am the only one who is able to see them. Because when I'm walking slowly, in silence, in the distance, I got them distracted. And they are outside of the hive. But at the very first moment that I give one step ahead, they all hide. So the most thing that I get to show my customers is just the entrance. Apis bees. We have much more information about the Apis bees because these bees manage to be stronger. And also they appear in all the extension of America, from the north to the south. However, even if the Spaniards brought the Europeans bee to America, these bees used to be very gentle. So their temper is to pollinize everything. And I mean everything. when they're nearby, they have to try pollinize my favorite flower. So they try with all their spirit and like, dude, you're not gonna need pollen of that, and they move to all of them. Then we're going to have the female bee or the working bee. So they're going to be the base of all the duties inside of the hive. They're going to work, they're going to be out for exploring, they're going to collect the pollen, they're going to create the honey, they're going to take care of the babies, they're going to take care of the queen. So basically, they're going to be responsible for everything. Another thing that they have found about the drones is that they are very welcome in every hive. But if a female working bee tries to move on to another hive, she's going to be killed, but not the drone. That the most mixing of drones that a queen bee may have, the stronger the hive will be. Because then we're going to have a mixing of different bee species in one of the hives growing. The Melipona honey is very special. So it happens that the Meliponas only pollinize medicinal flowers and local flora. Which means that we have done some experiments and we get to them some lavender that doesn't belong to the Riviera, but it's medicinal. They don't pollinize it. So it needs to belong to Mexican Riviera, where the area that they live nearby, and also need to have some medicinal properties. Now imagine that this little army of bees is doing that selection all the time. So the quality of the honey that they have, it's outstanding. It's not considered even a food, it's considered a medicine. However, when we are collecting the honey of any of these hives, we cannot take the 100%. Because let's remember, the honey that they produce is their food, not ours. We eat it because we like it, but it's not meant to be for us. So, for not to kill them of starvation, we can take the maximum amount of the quarter of the production of honey that they produce, and that's it. So what I have here is the collection of the pollen of the flowers that grows in the summer in Cozumel. So if you consume pollen on the nearest hive or beekeepers nearby your area, that is going to help you to survive the allergies that you're going to face during the change of season. And when we have the Ironman in November, or do my collection of opinions, but all of them are different every time.
Sweet.
Now, Melipona is a very delicate honey, all right? So we're going to try only one of the drops of it.
Deepest and the Meliponas, they have the same lifespan?
No, the Meliponas live shorter life, have shorter lives.
It's definitely honey.
Now, what we're going to do, queen bee jelly, mix it with honey. Why? Because the queen bee jelly, it's a very special substance, very nutritious, that even when you eat it directly, it kind of burns your tongue. I don't know, maybe a tracer in the kingdom. And secondly, they're going to feed it with queen bee jelly only. And after 20 days, what we're going to have is a new queen. And the first act of the new queen, once she's born, what we're going to try is another kind of honey. This is the working bee honey, okay? No.
Oh yeah. Definitely sweeter.
Sweeter, right?
Do you think?
Sometimes in this part I just give the
Sweet
question.
honey.
Is it real that the honey...
That one tastes different.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Very.
That tastes like honey
Okay,
with turmeric.
now we're increasing the flavors.
Propolis.
Once
Honey
somebody
mint.
told me that it tastes like holes. Like what? Like holes.
Yeah.
Cough drop. A cough drop.
I get a menthol flavor.
Like a cough medicine.
Propolis.
So today I look like a happy hour. Impressions,
It tastes like
family.
tincture of benzoin.
Interesting, right? Now,
Tastes like
there is
benzoin
one reason
smells.
why
Yeah.
it's in the spray. It's because, I get on me. You're taking the sun. That's so cute.
Tiny.
This is a Melipona bee.
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Hello, sweet baby. Hi. Okay. There you go.
Trying to find his way home.
Yeah.
There's that little knot right there, and there's a whole bunch of them right in that little knot.
On the other side, this is the reason why Señor, they cover with a little piece at the end, they collect all the honey.
and the second one to catch the bees that are coming in. Because let me tell you something, I have analyzing them. Their flying skills from 1 to 10, being 1 completely poor and 10 exceptional. I will give them a solid 5. So sometimes they have to find the entrance, some others they do like 3 to 4 attempts to get in. So once they finally got the straight line to get into the hive, they fly with all speed, and this guy in the door, she stopped them for not to crash with the ones that are in the back. Like the ones that we have in there,
Like this
same
kind?
species that the ones we
Same.
have.
Y de ahí empezamos a buscar el nido. Empezamos a sacar el nido, la miel, y ya lo vamos colocando en las cajas técnicas.
Oh, so first we make sure that we don't harm them. Then we use a motor, how you use the
Chainsaw?
chainsaw, exactly. Then we try to cut up a little bit without making a deep cut. And then slowly but surely with a hammer, we start to open it a little bit. And then once we have the nest visible, that's where we take it and we put it in a new hive.
Why the full moon?
¿Por qué en luna llena?
Porque en luna llena, cuando se parte, lo que pasa, la luna influye mucho en lo que es la marea, influye mucho en las divisiones de las colmenas también.
So as we know, the moon is related also with the sea and also the sea waves. So it is also having a lot of influence on the bees. If we don't do it in full moon and then we try to establish the hive, they fly away. But if we do it in the full moon, they accept a new home and they stay there.
Por eso también cuando uno se casa le dice luna de miel, porque es se hace porque es como reproducir, como
Es lo que hacían los mayas.
ajá.
¿En serio?
Sí. Even the Mayas, when they celebrate, in Cozumel area, we have an Mayan temples located only like 2 miles. When the Mayas, they celebrate weddings in Cozumel Island, the ladies, they need to offering honey. Yeah, because the honey in Mayan culture means love. Something new they're gonna start it. See, the ladies, they need to offering honey to the moon. Thanks to that ritual, the Mayas, they call it honeymoon. Honeymooners is from this place. And the Mayas, they celebrate weddings in Cozumel Island. Only the royalties, they navigate from anywhere. From Honduras, from Belize, from Guatemala. They navigate just for to get marriage on the island.
Perfect. Now, sugar pack is going to be made with tomato. So I'm gonna put a tomato. Squish a little bit. Squish and twist. Squish and twist. He's going to evaluate. He already told me that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve the pepita powder. We call them pepita to the seeds
So
of
do I.
them.
Yeah. He laughs when I say, "Oh, you want some salsa?" He says, "No, I'll just make it." He makes it for us.
Now time to taste your creation. Nice, right? What we're going to try now is actually very pleasant, so I can invite all of you to try this one. This is almost a dessert for us, something that we eat as a candy. So this is honey with extract of habanero salsa. We're going to have a beeswax workshop in which you're going to learn how to do your own beeswax candle, okay? Going for
Señor.
two
Thank you so much.
and have married some babies. Also,
Video,
this
like,
is
we
the
needed 2 hands,
calling.
but we made
This is the
beeswax
time.
candles.
Let me tell
We
you something
started
about
with
tamales.
this.
In Mexico,
We added
always like to
this.
share tamales
Rolled it up.
when we're
And
having
we
a
got
party, when we're
this.
receiving special people. So if you have never, who has eaten a tamale from here? Raise your hand.
From Mexico, no?
You have eaten tamales? Okay.
Before.
Oh, okay. Oh, she made it. She performed it.
Great.
Okay, Emily, this is a regional tamale made and crafted by Mrs. Marta itself.
Tamales.
Achiote, ¿no?
I have like one a year, so.
Yeah, Mexico City is different kind of.
The authentic Mexican Coke.
I have 1 Coke a year-ish, and this is very good.
Never drink soda.
So it's only fitting that this excursion took place from a Disney cruise ship because, like every classic Disney attraction, this tour ended in a gift shop. This was actually a really nice gift shop with a ton of homemade items made by the family that runs Señor Martha's bee conservation farm. And we had a selection of cocoa beans and a selection of honey. Of all the different types of honey that we tasted on the tour was available here. The type that tasted like menthol and the type with turmeric, along with a bunch of the instruments used for mixing and dispensing honey. And here are some of the vanillas that they talked about at the beginning of the tour, some authentic vanilla that's only possible because of the pollinating action of the bees. And you see some homemade figures here and jewelry. And don't fret, Buffy definitely took advantage of this gift shop before we got back onto the ship. The waters of Cozumel are definitely notable. They're like aquamarine, turquoise, green. I don't know if the camera should...
We learned today that Cozumel has the second largest reef system in the world.
Yeah, behind Australia. It's like we're walking between two city blocks in New York. Oh, here comes the Aquamouse.
Oh, finally, finally.
Whoa. Just a little update on how awesome it is to be in Concierge. Buffy mentioned that she likes kombucha. Before you know it, not only do they have kombucha at the Concierge Lounge, but we come in and our fridge is stocked with kombucha. And these are cheap. They go for $6.50 on the. I saw it in the cafe. That's pretty sweet. Thanks, Concierge. You guys are amazing. And we feel like they actually put it in the fridge between the time that we told them you like it and the time that we finished our breakfast.
Yeah, I was saying that it's almost like a magic show.
Yeah, we came right back to our room after saying that, and there was already kombucha in the fridge.
Yeah.
How's that even possible? All right, well, you might notice we have a little bit of an outfit change. We came back, we walked around the ship for a little bit, we went to the gym and worked out on the Peloton bikes in the fitness center, which were
so nice.
Pretty cool. And just got showered up and we're about to go have some lunch at the Concierge Lounge. But we wanted to give our final thoughts on the Nat Geo bee exploration conservation journey excursion that we did.
It was pretty great. First of all, it was a small venue, and I'm sure they have a bigger operation besides what we saw, but it was a very local operation.
Oh yeah.
The passion that all of the people that were touring us around had for not only the bees, but also like Mayan culture and sort of the local island life. It was it was just really nice to see. They were tamales like I have not had before. They were, and apparently they are like Cozumel specific tamales.
Yeah.
They
were
use
red.
a type of pepper. I forget what he called it, but he said it was like paprika. And they boil the pepper because if you eat it raw, it gives you, I'm thinking, diarrhea. But
they were phenomenal.
They boil it and then they use it as a flavoring, and they were so good, wrapped in banana leaves. And they were not heavy, they were very light and very tasty. So we did the vanilla, then we did the chocolate, and then we did the bees.
The honey, right? The bees, the honey, then the bees.
And then the salsa,
Yeah.
which was great.
We painted bees, and then we made beeswax candles.
We made beeswax candles.
Yep. And
So-
then we had tamales, and then we had gift shop. So the whole thing was about three and a half hours.
Do you see these delightful spider earrings? Yes. These were handmade at that little family-owned spot. So this cute little bag, handmade, and if you spent over $20, you got this little bag, and it's so cute and very well made. But I got a few delightful things. Vanilla, and we learned all about real vanilla extract and fake vanilla extract, and this is real vanilla extract. I got 2 bottles of that.
Which depends on bees, I think is why they talk about it.
It depends on bees. They have to pollinate.
The specific kind of bee that has to pollinate like
They're
one
gonna
day
learn
a
about
year.
that, right?
The flowers only sprout for 24 hours and then they
It
go
was
away.
a whole thing.
It's pretty intense.
Made me appreciate the price of vanilla. This is a little vanilla perfume, which I actually put some on. It smells really nice. And then this is pollen from the apis bees. There were 2 types of bees that we learned about, and these are kind of These were European bees. And this, the Melipona bees, they are originally here in Cozumel, and their honey is very sought after because they don't make much honey, like a liter a year or something like that.
I don't know if we said this, but they're stingless bees, which I guess is why you can be around them on this tour.
Yeah, but they're not biteless bees.
Yeah, they bite, but not really. But we didn't get to go to see the Apis beehives because those are not stingless bees.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you got to gear up for that.
Yeah, you got to gear up for that. Now, these are chocolate nibs from our
know you got
chocolate
that.
experience. And because you cannot use metal spoons with honey with good nutrients in it, because it immediately kills the good stuff, I guess.
So says the gift shop operator.
Yeah. But these spoons, I think, were also locally made, and it was $3, and I had to get this little spoon.
So, final verdict. I think it was, I want to say it was $159, which included the bus and the transportation there, and about a 3.5 hour tour through all those spots, the tamales, you took home the butterfly, and then whatever else you want to get in the gift shop. And we spent about another $60 on tips, I think.
And I bought stuff in the gift shop.
So it's expensive.
It was
but
expensive,
every
but
excursion's
also
expensive.
conservation effort for those bees and the bees on this island. And so I feel like part of the price is appropriate for their efforts.
You're supporting. It feels better to do that for $150 than go to the beach break with the all-included bar and the nachos.
And I will also say that some excursions that we've had on cruises, there's some high pressure like add-on sales that typically happen. This did not include any of that. Even in the gift shop, it wasn't, there was no like trying to sell us.
True.
They just, here's what we make, here's what we have.
So overall, I thought it was great.
Me too. I would do it again. I would do it again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks for coming along, and stay tuned for our next video where we continue our adventures on the beautiful Disney treasure.
Love the treasure. We'll see you real soon.
Today's entry in the Concierge Lounge dishes: sliders, pickles, tomatoes, and onions, a Cuban sandwich. And what'd you get? Soup?
Tom Kai Gai soup.
Tom Kai Gai. We have an Oreo on a stick. This is like a peanut butter cream shortbread cookie and some sort
This
of
is like tiramisu.
the actual gold flake.
Yep.